took the decision not to go. So, I don't know if you remember this one, but it's the ticking light from the boat that annoyed me quite a while. But I'm very happy with it right now because in my new vessel I ripped out all the electronics. And now I'm short of 0.5 meter, 35 millimeter square cable. So, yeah, before we have that, I have no lights. So we have to do it with my friendly light over there. A little bit like the plan that was to sail to Norway, and then in the end we approached Vlieland. And there we actually found that going into the wind with an incoming tie is also quite interesting. So let's go. Bumpy ride. So yeah, Vlieland it is. We had sailed 75 nautical miles north of Vlieland, did a 180 and went back. Actually got hailed along the way because we were not crossing the traffic separation zone with a 90-degree angle. That was because we were quite, well, seasickish. That is no excuse, but it also meant that once we got to Vlieland, we had the cops awaiting us. They were not necessarily very fond of filming them. They did leave some black footprints on the deck. I might have some material of that. But once they were gone, we slept, we had something to eat, and then we contemplated on what had happened going out there. There were various things that did not really go according to plan. And one of them was that the reefs would not stay in. They would kind of, wiggle themselves loose. And we were wondering, why is that actually the case? So we found something out, and that is that these lace holders, which should secure themselves, they flop back very easily. Jacco made the legendary remark that
Force 8 will push these back.
Yeah, Force 8 will already push these back. So imagine what happens with Force 8.4. Yesterday we had this popping out constantly. These things we have used all three, and they popped out. So probably we're not doing it correctly. So I would actually love to learn why or how to do this. Yeah, you actually see it happening. It just flops back, huh? Okay, so we put the second reef in and we locked it in place. And how we did it, how Jacco actually did it, and I did it, is that we put it back on the winch as an additional safety. Now Jacco is going to push down, like up and down, and then move it sideways. En als je hem helemaal naar die kant doet, it popped out. That is the point. That's it. We should not use the winch, that's for sure. And the second observation we have, or we think we have, is that the lines are too thick, right?
They are.
So it seems that the diameter of the line that normally stays in place, which is this one, and this is for the onderlijkstrekker, for the normal one has a thinner diameter, which actually means that it can go further. So if you take this one, you actually see that the lever comes only.
You can see it on the wheels of the. You can see it on the
Yeah.
wheels as well. The diameter of the wheels
are not made for such thick line. So one conclusion, if you put it on the winch, it would work. It creates some tension if the boom goes out, but it's not really a lot. I think, pas op je hoofd. It's a bit, but it's not a lot. So for now, a good temporary solution. But it's interesting to see these lines, if they are too thick, it just doesn't work. And we, yeah, I said we needed 3 yesterday, and then the result is that they come out. Jacco's actually the more pragmatic of us, and he came up with a very pragmatic solution, especially in hindsight, I have to say. If nothing else works, and if the winch is preferred. For now, I would say in this situation, winch preferred. New lines is another option, but it isn't a real problem if you keep it on a winch. Which is also what we do with the mainsail, by the way. Yeah. Which is, I find that's kind of interesting. The other way around? Yeah, that actually would be, no, yeah. Ah, yeah, because you can get this one. No.
Yeah, of course. But it's only a solution for the third reef. If you have no options left, then this is your option. This is your way to go.
That off is, yeah. And then it's already hand pulled in first instance, because if that is gone, it's gone. We actually learned a lot. And we learned one more thing in our blind confidence that we would actually make it. And with the result of the last time, where the ticket prices of return tickets, or actually tickets from Christiansand to Amsterdam, were like really expensive, we decided to book the ticket up front. And the good thing is that we had the backup option checked on. So there is another very happy moment here that I want to share with you. Normally, we always take it cheapy easy. We wait until the very last minute and then we book a ticket. Not so yesterday. We had the brilliant idea, because we were pretty confident we're going to make it anyway, to book the tickets in advance. So we paid a couple of €100. But fortunately we booked at KLM. Obviously, I would say. But we bought a flex ticket, so we paid more, quite a lot more actually, but we were able to cancel it in the end. So I think in the end, this is a way better way, because you just book the ticket. If you don't make it, you can cancel it, which is like brilliant. So this is another learning. So yeah, that's great. Thank you, KLM. Already I love you, you know, but yeah. To be honest, the amount was fairly reasonable, so asking it back was the right way. It doesn't mean that we're not going to do it again. It means we will definitely try again, I guess. I don't know. We never know.
We will.
We will. But this was a good experience. Yeah, and it was extremely easy to refund as well. So that's like, maybe you paid a couple of euros for cancelling, but that was well worth the effort. One of the other issues we faced was seasickness. Evaluating that, I think there are a couple of reasons. For one, I didn't take any seasickness pills and I was actually quite tired. Jacco did take seasickness pills, but due to that drawer that was open that I showed you in last episode, he had to clean up everything from the floor. That didn't help a lot as well. We had speldbrood, which I can tell you is bone dry and really not very tasty if you're eating that while you're seasick. And then we had Y foods, and I actually thought that was brilliant. It tastes good, it's easy, but it's, if you're out there, extremely flavored. So that hit like a bomb and it made me feel even worse. So that wasn't good either. And then you get kind of hungry. In the fridge we had something ready to make, which was naans, and Jacco was actually about to do it, but that didn't work out, and then it's a domino. So in the end, we learned a lot, and we sort of celebrated with making what we intended to make on the passage. What are you doing in the kitchen?
I'm making naan.
Naan.
So we're baking our own bread, actually. That's what we're doing. And this is
Pan-cooked bread.
so, but it's really bread, so it's naan. 250 grams of flour. Then you have we put 125 yogurt in there, and yeast, and 125 milliliter of water. A little bit of salt. Mix it. A little bit of oil. So what we do, this will be the result in the end. But we use quite a lot of oil actually. So this is the result. So we're doing everything backwards. But I made a small. Oh, there we go. Oh. Because I use a lot of oil, it doesn't stick to anything, so I can put it in the pan. But because my hands are oily.
Oh, it's oil on your hands.
It's oil on my hands, so I'm using a lot of oil here. Quite a lot of oil here, but it makes sense so it doesn't stick. So now I can make.
Because yesterday we made this, right?
Yeah.
So we put 150 milligram.
120, 250 of
Flour,
Flour.
250 flour, some yeast in water that was lukewarm.
Yeah,
And
lukewarm.
you kind of stirred it.
Yeah.
Then you put it in.
Put it in with yogurt, 125, so 125 milliliter water with the yeast, and 125 milligram of yogurt.
Is
and
it
a little
like
bit of salt.
3 cups basically?
No.
Because the yeast was in water and it was like half that cup, right?
Yeah, so it's 125. So the cup is 250 in total. So half of it.
Okay, half.
Half. And so, and then it has to. Here we go. And make sure it's well done, because otherwise you get sick of it. But you need to have.
Why is that?
The flour, it needs to be
well done.
Gaar, well done. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
And how do I know it's well done? Because it's like.
Oh yeah, you make sure.
Oh, it's very hot.
Yeah. So then it's well done.
Okay. Then it's well done.
I put a lid on it so the heat stays in, so it can heat from the inside to the inside. So.
Okay.
That's actually it. So, but you need to have these
Oily hands
and an oily plate, so it doesn't stick like this
to the plate.
To the plate. So, makes sense.
Lekker, gaan we sla eten?
Gaan we zo lekker eten.
Lekker hoor. Lekker. So again, we have had a great adventure because in the end, it was a lot of fun, honestly. But at some point, it was also time for Jacco to go back home. And going back with the ferry again, we thought it would be good to have just a cup of coffee with a dingetje before he left. Jacco thought it was a very good idea. Hoe heet het? Zeestichtsoes. That looks like a fucking octopus. Goed. We're very fortunate we didn't order 2.
Geweldig, maar dit is echt voor 4 personen een maaltijd.
There he goes. Mr. Jacco. There he goes. So, Jacco departed the boat and actually thought, let's clean it up a bit, because I think one of the conclusions from our trip is that I have a lot of stuff, but I don't necessarily need all the stuff, especially when we are sailing in heavier weather. And I'm trying to shift a little bit through all the stuff that I have to see what is relevant and what is less relevant. These things I think would fit nicely here. The only question is, will they kind of make noise? But I think that should be okay. So it's some shackles and it's some D-rings. These are the, if you have a reefed sail, you can tie it down with that. Oh, that works. I got it. Okay, well that works. That's good. That's good. So I had that laying around, and it was in there. Oh well, in there without batteries, which obviously is not very useful. Yeah, I'm moving on steadily. I think I'm doing good things. So I have some stuff that I removed. I want to write in my diary. There's some books that need to go back. My maps under there. Yeah, so going quite well. One of the lessons I've learned is chloride water kills bacteria, but it also has quite a strong taste. And living in the Netherlands, I'm not used to that. The drinking water normally isn't that fluoride to taste. So I decided to clean the tank, put in new water, and use the remainder to kind of brush off all the salt from the boat, because it has some white flakes on the side. It's a bit sticky, and it's time for a clean start. So starting with clean water. Very good. Boat clean. Hungry man. Let's eat. So first night on my own, which means I gotta do the cooking, which also means I can choose, and I decided on something with chorizo. And now I know this person is fond of chorizo. Jacco actually doesn't like it. I sort of totally forgot about that, which is not very friendly, but it happens. There you go. So we have sausijsbroodjes, kabeljauw, stoofpot met kikkererwten. Oh, that's the cod one, 38. I think I made this. Oh, there you go. This one without the fish. I'm gonna make this because I remember this was really good. So we're back with my favorite meal. And it tastes like this. I don't know why it tastes so good, but it's probably because I made it myself. And I made a little mistake. So it's actually supposed to be with cod, but I didn't have any cod. And it's supposed to be with chorizo. And I did have chorizo, but I didn't notice it is salami. So it also works with salami. And to replace the cod, I put in some bread. And this is the bread Jacco might recognize, because this is spelt bread, and it is so bone dry you cannot eat it in a normal format with peanut butter. So I put it in here, and that's actually perfect. So yeah, happy. Van Wilguco. The boat next to me is called Windroos, but then Windroos, which is the Dutch version. So, and as a special treat, I have some Japanese tea. And I bought these Japanese tea things in Japan, obviously. I actually have a whole big stash of them, which is quite funny if you look at it. So it's like these little bowls. This is forest tea. And it kind of breaks apart in stuff like this. So in the Netherlands, this looks a hell of a lot like marijuana. So you could confuse it for that, but actually it is not. It's tea. And I bought this very nice Chinese, or Japanese, sorry, tea bowl. So I'm gonna have myself a really nice cup of tea, which obviously is related to doing the dishes because I don't have any warm water in this boat. So this is my warm water, which is good because it's actually a bit chilly. So it kind of heats up the boat as well. So it's like a multi-purpose, thingy. So if you have the time to talk about tea that much, I would say you have time on your hands. And that is exactly what I had. I have 7 weeks. 7 weeks. Wow. That's a lot of time. And I had to make a plan, figure out what I was going to do, and then take it from there. So if you want to know how that goes, don't hesitate to hit subscribe. If you've had something similar like this, if you've ever had your plans changed, if there's something you want to share, don't hesitate to leave a comment down below. I would love that. And if you liked it, just leave a like. I would like it. YouTube likes it. Everybody likes it. So that's also good. Hope to see you next time in the next episode of Sailing Windrose. And then I will be taking you along on the next trip, which might be a 24-hour sail solo. You never know. See you later, boys and girls. Let the evening begin.